it's time to talk about Weekend Review. Let's talk about Weekend Review. I gave something a 2. I didn't give anything a 2.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassel. Welcome to Week in Review. This is a series that we do where we talk about all the games we played over the past week and reviewed. And then we give you short summaries of them. If you want to see the full video, we have links in the description. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Garcia. Here's what I reviewed last week. So I did Tokaido Duo, which I gave a 6 out of 10 to. I think Tokaido Duo is an interesting design, but it's one that is very lucky for how much you have to internalize, how many sort of moving parts and how many rules are involved in the game. It's also one that was just reissued, and I think there's been so many two-player games, so many dual versions of things that with the passage of time, it's suffered a little bit. There's been quite a few good ones that are spin-offs of other things lately, and Tokaido Duo suffers a little bit by comparison. It's not a bad game. It's not one that's held up as well as I would have liked, I think. I reviewed Photo Tour North America, and I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's a fantastic game in which you are taking really nice quick turns, moving around, collecting things, taking photographs at places you travel to. It compares favorably to a lot of other traversal games. Think Trekking the National Parks or Trekking the World, Wanderlust, even Ticket to Ride. I could see this being a nice alternative to that. There is a good return on the time investment here. And then lastly, I reviewed Everdell Silver Frost, which I also gave an 8 out of 10 to. Really nice edition of Everdell. Yes, there's been a lot of Everdell games, and in a vacuum, this is good compared to so many out there. It suffers a little bit in that comparison. But the game steps up its sort of demand on the players. It's a little more punishing. It's a little more strategic. There's a little more interaction with the other players, and I enjoy the things it does. Plus, it has a really cool look, and the whole thing is you earn your victory in this one. You kind of have to claw up, so it's a little more. It asks a little more of the players, and I found it to be a well put together game, if mostly Everdell still. So there you go. That's it for me. I'll see you on the next one.
Hey folks, it is Chris time, and I took a look at 5 games this week, the first of which was Terrible Quest. I gave this one a 5. Not terrible, but it is actually, terrible. You tear out pieces of paper with different symbols on it to try to kill collections of monsters. It's all right. It's a funny concept. I wish it was actually funnier in practice. Next up, Asian Tigers. I give this a 6. Many people who saw the overview said, wow, this looks like Spreadsheet the board game. This is Spreadsheet, the board game. It's fine, it's good, but it has a few little mechanical restrictions that I find clever, but not fun, and yet I do find the systems of the game pretty fun, so it comes in right at a 6. Next up, For the Emperor. This is the other all-play tiny game, along with Terrible Quest that reviewed. I give this one a 7. A very sleek, simple lane battler, very minimalistic. Each player only has 9 cards, and you're trying to control 4 of the 7 areas. I think that the minimalism comes together well, satisfyingly. Kingdom of Dice, 7.5. This is a Reiner Knizia push your luck game, and every time I play one of his games like this, with a very simple rule set, I think, man, it's really clean. It's almost frustrating that I couldn't come up with something this clever and this enjoyable. So I like this one a lot. Magical Athlete, I also gave a 7.5. Tom gave this one a much higher score, right? But I enjoy this. I think that it is a chaos generator that works well despite whatever types of groups you play it with. You just have to be up for a little bit of silliness. A fun race, sort of race game. And lastly, Origin Story at 8.5. This is an excellent trick-taking game from Stonemaier Games. Jamie Stegmaier and Pete Wissinger, the co-designers on this. And I'm looking forward to more stuff from Pete. I think that this one is just a very cool grow as you progress throughout the game. It has this trick-taking game that has a nice arc of powers that comes along with it. So excellent. One well worth checking out. All right, that, folks, has been my week.
This week, I took a look at 2 games. First up was Photo Tour North America. This game very much reminded me of either Wanderlust or the Trekking the National Park, something like that. I came in at an 8 on Photo Tour. I think that this pretty much replaces those other 2 for me. I think it's much quicker, it's much snappier, much more comfortable after the first turn to understand what's going on, and had a really good cadence throughout the game. So Photo Tour is an 8 for me. Also took a look at a game in the Masters of Crime series from Cosmos. Took a look at Shadows specifically. Came in at 8 as well. Enjoyed this experience. It's called an immersive mystery game experience or something like that. I think that's a perfect title for it. It does feel like an interactive experience where you are in the first part of the game, you are planning a heist, you're going to locations, learning about different characters, making some choices. Do I want to do A or do I want to do B? And ultimately that's all going to feed into this heist deck, which you're going to go through for the second half of the game when you'll actually go through the heist and see how it resolves and how well you did. Were you able to pull it off or not? I think this is a perfect game for a rainy weekend, a weekend with friends, as a gift to friends who like murder mystery parties, escape rooms. It kind of reminds me of both of those. Really enjoyed my time with it and ultimately left me wanting to check out the rest of the series. So that's going to be Masters of Crime Shadows at an 8. That's it for me this week. We'll see you later.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey Evans, and here's what I reviewed this week. First off, I did 2 games with Chris. That was Terrible Quest, which, it was a 5. You tear things, kind of like clip cut parts, but using like tearing, and did not enjoy it. More of an activity. For the Emperor was actually a pretty fun lane battler. I like this because it's a lane battler that doesn't get overcomplicated. It's very simple to teach. The cards are very straightforward. There's not a lot of combos to worry about. I think it's very fun, very light. It's a great filler game. Came out at a 7 on that. Then Message in a Bottle. This one was odd because, again, more an activity. That's wow, weird. Another one. But more of an activity where you have all these dice that have letters on it, and you shake them in a bottle, and you have to come up with a word using those letters. I think it's fun. This is like a perfect filler game that can sit there on your shelf, whatever, when you're waiting for people to get there or to start the new game. I came out on a 6 because I enjoyed it. I don't know how often I'd go back to it, but it's neat to just sit there. Then Europa Space. I loved Europa Mine. Europa Space was really, really good. I loved it. It added magnets to it. I enjoyed everything it has had to offer. They made a little rules changes that I think were perfect. I do think you should go to Mine first and then Space, but I do love Europa Space. Gave that a 9. So anyway, those are the games that I reviewed this week.
Hi, I'm Wendy Ye, and this week there are 2 games that I was part of reviews for, and the first one is Asian Tigers. So this one I gave a 6. It was one that I was really excited to play going into it, but I did find that it is very tactical of a game, being that you can steal each other's spots. You can kind of force people to not be able to do what they want to do, but also you have to think way ahead and plan because you see what your next possible 10 turns are kind of all at once. And so that combination didn't really sing for me. The next one is Europa Space, which was fabulous. I gave it an 8.5. I do have a little bit of issues with the way that they did the lack of screen printing on the tokens that show the grid. And so I find that there is some confusion occasionally on how things bounce off the planets. But other than that, absolutely fabulous game. Really enjoy it, especially the upgrades of the magnets and the screen, and the different way that the planets bounce around, just the uniqueness of it. So 8.5 for me on that. All right, thanks for joining me today. Let's go ahead and see who's next.
Hey there everybody, it's Mike Delisio, and this week I reviewed 6 games, so let's just get started. First up is Gangster, which I rated a 7.5. This is an older area majority game that got reprinted by publisher Plate Games in their L-Board series, and it really holds up. I really enjoyed this area majority game, and I don't tend to love that mechanic very much. Next up is Tokaido Duo, which is a 7.5 as well. This is the 2-player version of Tokaido that was originally released by Funforge, and now it's been released by Stonemaier Games in wider distribution. I like how they handled the 2-player edition of this game because Tokaido originally was not great as a 2-player game, so I enjoyed this. Next up is Kingdom of Dice, which is also a 7.5. This is a push your luck dice game from Reiner Knizia, and he has a lot of really good push your luck dice games. This is one that is not at the highest tier, but still an easy recommend, a relatively simple rule set. It's good for people that don't play a lot of games, honestly. Next up is Magical Athlete, which I rated an 8. And this is a game that had been out of print for years and now has been republished, retooled from publisher CMYK. Richard Garfield was brought on board to do some development work, and it's a joy. It's really silly fun. It's a party game 100%, but I just think it looks fantastic and is a lot of fun. Next up is Regicide Legacy, which I rated a 9 out of 10. What an amazing achievement. Regicide was a game that was just built on a standard deck of cards, and they've taken that simple system of a solo or cooperative game where you're trying to defeat the royal cards, and they've blown it up into this huge epic experience where you're going through a story, 12 different boxes of content, all adding new twists and turns to the system. A really fantastic, especially I played it as a solo game. And then finally, we've got Origin Story, which I also rated a 9 out of 10. A trick-taking game from Stonemaier, and wow, one of the best trick-taking games I've played in the last few years. It involves a bit of tableau building as well, because you are adding new potential powers or gadgets or gear that essentially are things that allow you to do things to kind of mess with the trick-taking, the basic trick-taking system in the game. Wonderfully, wonderfully done, and feels very unique from other trick-taking games. And really, really a good one. So 9 out of 10. All right, well, that's going to do it for me this week. This is Mike Delisio. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, I gave out some very high ratings this week. But lest you think I'm all positive, I'm not. I did 6 games I played so you don't have to. I also did another 6 quick game review, and not all of them were very positive. But I did do some very positive reviews. I took a look at the 5 expansions for Railroad Tiles. They're not amazing. They're good, though, and I don't think you need all of them, so pick 1 or 2. And so I just kind of compared them and told you which ones were my favorites. Then for board games, well, Photo North America, a very quick, snappy game where you're moving around America taking pictures. I like that, 8 out of 10. I took a look at Everdell, the newest Everdell here with the snow, and I'm not a huge Everdell fan, and this one, the snow kind of was annoying. I just a 6 out of 10. It's fine, but I don't know that I love it. Here's what I do love. Regicide Legacy. Really like this game. Fantastic Legacy version and beyond. I think Regicide's a pretty neat game, but I like the Legacy version better than the original game. 8.5. I also like Origin Story, a trick-taking game with superheroes. It's controlled chaos. I find it to be so fascinating and interesting. I like everything about it. 9.5, it's terrific. And Magical Athlete, CMYK, reprinted, one of my favorite games, and they did so with a bang. It's the silliest, stupidest game, but it's so much fun. I've always loved Magical Athlete. Glad to see this one here. 10 out of 10 for me on that one. We also did a lot of other things this week. We did a hot takes video where we talked about, you gave us hot takes and then we responded to them. We did a live play with IV Studios. We did several different live videos, crowd surfing and the board game news, lots of different things coming out. We're all gearing up for the Spiel for Essen, but that's still a week away. Many more cool videos coming out this week. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassel, and you've been watching Week in Review on the Dice Tower. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, if you would love to game with us at one of our conventions, check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vassel.
I don't want to say that I'm overwhelmed with whales in the studio, but I am whelmed.
I feel like I need to actually justify my 5 for terrible quests, so I did kind of write reasons why I feel this way. Settle in, this is Exhibit A.